Over the weekend, Joe Pyfer said he had fight news coming soon, and Alex Bahunin got the word out about the bout, and it is Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer, March 29th. That's the UFC Fight Night card in Mexico City. So Gastelum's going to have hometown fans cheering him on in that one, and he could use the support because he's going to be the underdog in that contest. Although Gastelum isn't a ranked opponent, Pyfer is happy with the booking because Gastelum is a well-known name and a former title challenger. Gastelum's coming off a win over Daniel Rodriguez in June, beating D-Rod via decision. Pyfer had a lot of momentum and hype and marketing backing from the UFC, but Hermanson slowed that down in February, winning a decision over Joe. But Pyfer rebounded in June when he scored a big KO over Marc-Andre Barriault. Andre Petroski confirms he will be fighting February 15th against Rodolfo Vieira. He signed the contract and he replaces Jacob Malkoun. Malkoun got injured and had to pull out. Malkoun's last fight was against Petroski. He won that fight. But if Petroski wins this fight, that'll be 3 wins in 7 months, which would be a very impressive rebound after that one loss. Bruno Ferreira is going to fight Armen Petrosian at UFC 313 on March 8th. Petrosian's coming off a loss to Shara Bullet. Bruno's coming off a loss to Abus Magomedov. Petrosian's last loss was via spinning back fist, and Bruno's last win was from a spinning back elbow. So maybe he may throw some spinning techniques at 303 at the T-Mobile in Vegas. The Mexico City card on March 29th has added another Mexican fighter, Yasmin Yeregui, and she's taking on Dion Barboza. That's March 29th. A couple other fights on that card so far is Edgar Chairez versus CJ Vergara and Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Ronaldo Rodriguez is in Japan. He was cornering Jose Shorty Torres at the Rise in Decade show, and Jose Torres won a decision over Shin Ryu.
Yo, that's so cool. So we're obviously able to walk around, but look at this. Dude, this arena's just dope. I just found here. This is so cool. And like, oh, dude, I love it. The fans just respect the sport. Oh, this is so cool. It's such an honor. Listen, thank you so much. It's so dope. Happy New Year's, everyone! Happy New Year's, Feliz Año Nuevo! Dia Amor!
Torres says he'd like to fight Horiguchi next, who also picked up a victory on the Rise in Decade card. He won a decision over Zulu. Dana White's message for 2025 is, hey 2025, I'm coming to kick your effing ass. Yusuf Zalal confirms he will be fighting Calvin Kattar February 15th. That's a 3-round fight, so it won't be the main event. Zalal would be my comeback fighter of the year. He's going for his 4th win in less than 11 months. If he wins this fight, he'll break into the top 10. Sean O'Malley says he'd love to fight in Japan, but he wouldn't want to fight under a rule set where you can knee and kick somebody in the head on the ground.
For me, I feel like it benefits me more not being able to get kicked in the head because I'm typically not the one on, above someone. I'm if I get taken down, I'm usually on my back, so that would probably not be as good for me. But I would, it'd be interesting.
Robert Whittaker believes that Khamzat Chimaev will finish 2025 as the UFC middleweight champion. I just think his grappling is so good, is his reasoning, and that is really good reasoning. His grappling is ridiculously good, and Whittaker's opinion holds a lot of weight because he's been in the game for a long time, fought the best, trained with the best, and experienced firsthand what Khamzat's all about on the ground. Khamzat will either take on DDP or Strickland next. The key for them would be to survive that first round on the ground against Khamzat. If you can get through that hellacious first round, maybe things can even out as the fight progresses. Definitely not an easy task to survive that first round, but guys have done it. Gilbert went the distance with Khamzat. Usman went the distance with Khamzat, so we shall see. That being said, not a bad opinion at all by Whittaker. BetOnline.ag future odds seem to agree with Robert Whittaker. UFC middleweight champ odds at the end of 2025. Khamzat is the favorite at -200. Then Dricus du Plessis +300. Sean Strickland plus 700, then Imavov, Fluffy Hernandez, and Kyle Bahayo. At 7-1 odds, Strickland may not be a bad bet because his first fight with DDP was a coin flip, 50-50. The second fight might be the same thing, go to the distance, 50-50, split decision. And if he wins the bout, who knows when he defends it against Khamzat. Khamzat doesn't fight that often. The past couple of years, he's only been fighting once a year, and he is prone to getting sick, so who knows if that fight even happens or when it happens. Renato Moicano spent New Year's Eve training. I'm at the gym right now, and that's why I love fighting. No shortcuts, no handouts, nobody cares. Do the best you can with what you have. January 18th, go time. Suffer now, thank yourself later. Somewhat reminiscent of the Ali quote, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Moicano will be taking on Beneil Dariush at UFC 311 on January 18th. They have somewhat similar records. 22-6-1 versus 25-1. They're actually both 35, but Moicano just feels younger. It feels like he's just getting warmed up in his career, whereas Beneil Dariush, it feels like this is like the latter portion of his career. Dariush lost his last 2 fights. Granted, those are against tough guys, like the top 2 guys other than the champion, Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. Moicano's on a roll, winning 4 in a row, beating Riddell, Dober, Turner, and Benoit Saint-Denis. Former UFC fighter John McDessie signs with the GFL. His last fight in the UFC a couple years ago was his 20th fight in the UFC. His pay for that fight is out there. He got paid a gross show purse of $58,000 minus him paying medical expenses of $743. He paid for airfare $2,400 approximately. Some people think the UFC should pay for his airfare, and he paid for licenses $266. So those total deductions are $3,438. So his net show purse before tax was $54,561. Australian government foreign tax 45%, which is $26,000, but he should be able to get most of that back. But he still got to pay his trainers and his manager. So what are your thoughts on those figures? Let me know in the comments. Gegard Mousasi training for his GFL debut. And his medieval MMA debut. Jake Shields has an issue with X, formerly known as Twitter, because they claim to be a free speech platform, and he says he disagrees with that. X has decided I'm not allowed to be monetized. X has decided I'm not allowed to have subscriptions. X has decided I'm not able to be verified. X has decided I'm not allowed to use more than 280 characters. When will X decide I'm not allowed on their free speech platform? Shields coached and cornered a couple fighters who did well this year, Farid Basharat and Nicholas Mota. Mota got a couple big wins as an underdog this year, most notably against Tom Nolan. He was a huge underdog in that fight, but he got a first-round knockout. Thanks for watching, thanks to channel members, and super thanks donors.